What's going on, IG fam? What's going on, YouTube? Let me know if you guys can hear me. And if this sounds good, get excited because today's topic is amazing, okay? Something that you guys want to probably know. And just let me know if you guys can hear me, YouTube fam. Drop in a comment and just let me know everything sounds good and looks good. The latency is kind of driving me crazy. I don't really do a lot of lives on YouTube, so it's always sort of like nerve-wracking, but I'll get used to it eventually. All right, IG fam, thanks everybody for joining in. Safal, what's going on, brother? Big picture, what's happening? Learn filmmaking, that's what's up. Let's go. Just Ivan, what's going on, brother? Ass kicker, let's go, brother. Sebix, what's happening? Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for joining. What's going on, Thomas? I know I need a haircut, dude. I know I need a haircut. All right, so YouTube, can you hear me okay? I'm just gonna get going. I hope it's streaming. Hopefully. All right, super awesome topic. Today we're talking about what is the highest paying job in post-production. That includes commercials, short films, indies, features, corporate videos, everything, okay? We're touching base on everything. What's the highest paying job? Why that is? What makes it so fucking awesome? Let's talk about it. Okay, so I'm just gonna start with the spoiler, and the spoiler is that it is color grading. And I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why that is, okay? Editing has been around forever, and we have the ability to just go on our phones and start cutting stuff and putting it together, and kids are doing it, and moms are doing it, and adults are doing it, and grandpas are doing it, and they just think if everyone can do it, it must be easy. What's the big deal? Why are editors getting paid so much? But we know what goes into it and why it's so difficult to be profitable as a creative. Everybody's undercutting everyone. Competition is crazy. We hear all those things. Now, the good news is that when competition is this crazy as it is right now, everybody wants a freaking video. That's good for us because if you're a hustler, you can find work. It doesn't matter. Like, let's just say you're getting paid less than what you were getting paid before just because of the competition. Well, double down. Now you're making way more money than before. So it's really up to you. And then having more clients never hurt. So the reason why color grading is blowing up so much is that it's an infant. When it comes to our industry, it's fairly new. Like, remember back in the day, like 2002, 2001, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Like, those type of movies were massive because, Roger Deakins was going into DI and doing this funny stuff with colors, and we were just like, what is going on? What is this? Our minds were blown. So think about editing. Editing has been happening since 1895. Color grading is something that really hit a home run around 2002, 2003, and then it started, evolving into what it is today, which is one of the most important element of storytelling. Now, I don't want to talk about the most obvious things like Hollywood and stuff like that because we know Hollywood colorists are making stupid money. You don't even want to think about it. It's going to just freaking depress you for life. I know these 2 dudes who worked for a company and they were grading stuff for Amazon, and HDR worked for Amazon, and Amazon was paying them $1,500 an hour to grade HDR footage. And that's not, Amazon wasn't paying them, but the company. But $1,500 an hour, you do the math. Work hour in our industry is about 10 hours, or work day is 10 hours, okay? So just do the math. It's freaking mind-boggling, makes no sense. Editors do not make that much money. Even editing companies don't make that much money. That's just not what it is. So that's the obvious. I'm going to get through the obvious, and I'm going to get to the real meat why this is happening, because 90% of the people out there are dealing with the 3 points that I'm going to be hitting. Number 1, think of any camera out there right now, and it's shooting in log. So look at the list on there. I'm going to flip the camera so you guys can look at the list here too. Just look at these cameras, whether it's Arri Alexa, Alexa Mini. DJI is even like incorporating options for shooting in log. Blackmagic, we all know it. Canon, C-Line, and now even like EOS R and all these cameras, 1DX Mark II, let you shoot in C-Log. Think about Panasonic, S1H, GH5, GH5S. Think about Red, obviously. Sony, even down to A7 III, is giving you log profiles to shoot with. So what is really happening? With log, you gotta know what you're doing. You cannot just throw a LUT on it and call it a day, because that's not what's cutting it anymore. Even down to like news gathering stuff, ENG stuff is looking so juicy because they're hiring somebody who's just correcting stuff, doing the bare minimum, but still, that gets you to like stand out compared to the rest of the people, what they're doing. Because LUTs were cute during the Red Giant and Film Convert and those days, when 5D Mark II was new and all the freaking indie filmmakers were coming out of the woodworks. Like, LUTs were great, and one-off looks were great. Blockbuster look, you just click on it, boom, you're done. Show off to your friends and just tell them how amazing of a colorist you are. But it's really easy. People are actually getting pretty good with seeing right through it. And biggest thing is that it won't translate. Like, shot matching is the biggest thing that nobody really touches on. And that's basically going from one shot to the next. And what you really need to understand is that shot matching just does not happen on its own. It's not a one-click operation and you're done. You really need to know what you're doing to be good at it. And that is way beyond like one-click looks or LUTs and things like that, right? So that's the first reason why color grading is so hot right now, because every camera is shooting with log, and then you get that footage back to the client and they're freaking out. They're like, what the hell is this? Like, what can we do? Is stuff even in focus? So you really need to bring it home, with that. Number two reason, most of you out there, literally the only thing that's holding you from your dream job is presentation. And the first thing to the best presentation that you can have is a show reel. And even in the show reel, you only need 5 to 10 seconds, okay? Don't kid yourself that somebody's gonna sit through and watch 2-minute long, demo reels. And it's so funny to me that people put out show reels and they, save best for last. That doesn't work, okay? Nobody's gonna skim through. Nobody's got time, we're not that important that people are gonna like sit through for 2.5-minute demo reel and wait till the end for the good stuff. You gotta start with a banger. And nothing can get you there faster than color grading, because you can genuinely just take the stuff that you already have and take the caliber from like an indie or homemade video all the way up there to like looking like a freaking Hollywood teaser. Okay, this could be shot with your buddy's DJI like Mavic Pro or something like that. You can bring it home, and just if you know what to do with color correction, boom, the first 5 to 10 seconds, and if your presentation is just on point, that's what's going to get you from like your buddy who's making $1,000 a day compared to you who's making $250 or $300 a day. And if color grading can do that for you, just do the math, like where you're going to be, your trajectory. And all the things that I'm talking about is based on true experience, because I went to school for film or for cinematography and for editing, and then color grading came last. So, I've gone through all those things. I still do all those things equally well and as much, but color grading is just a freaking sizzling hot topic right now. Third reason is, unless you're working on huge productions, so just think about it, like unless you're working with big crews and there's a specialist for everything, most of the time when you're taking on projects, you're pretty much doing it all. And if you're doing it all, that last thing is costing you a lot. Like, not be able to get them something that looks like, if you're working on like some Christmas stuff for a company, like, where they just want to put out some products for Christmas and they want you to shoot some stuff, and it's a borderline corporate gig / spot, and you shoot something for them, but then you put it out and it doesn't have that, a Target commercial or Audi commercial during Christmas, that warm feel and those colors and like just that pizzazz. If it doesn't have that, that's what's going to keep you at that dwarf rate where you're going to be charging $1,000 for using your own equipment, going out there, shooting it, coming home, editing it, using your bay, like your studio, to edit it, color it, how you know it, and then turning it in and just only making $1,000. Or if you do know color grading, then let me just give you an example. There's a client I worked for back in 2000, an eternity ago, okay? So I worked for this client, and I was charging them $500 for shooting. I brought my own equipment. I was charging $250 at the time for editing. And, we were making vignettes, like 15 to 20 second pieces, 30-second pieces. So I was doing a video, $750 a video. And sometimes we were shooting multiple videos, but I was still charging them $500 a day for everything. And then I was cutting it. I was charging $250 a video. Well, as my editing skills grew and as my clientele grew, like, I leveraged that, and with the same client, I was able to pull my editorial number from 250 to 500. So now that is great. I went from like $750 a video, to $1,000 a video. So that was great. But what's insane is that I got my hands on, back in the day, the first OG Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, 2.5K, and that's when I freaking went hot and heavy with color grading. And I took out my camera, shot this stuff for the same company, and gave them some samples and showed them what can be done if I were to go in and do the finishing on their piece and get it all broadcast ready and everything. And when they saw it, they were like, how much? And I went from charging $1,000 a video to $2,500 a video. And another key is that you got to break it down in your invoice, in your purchase order. You really got to, you can't just say video one this much. You really need to break it down. And once you do a breakdown, it's easy for them to justify it and send it to their producer and sell what you're selling to them, to their producers. So it's really easy. But think about it, 2.5x profit just by knowing color grading. And people who are out there, who are filmmakers, who are shooting, who are editing, you guys know how much work goes into those things. Color grading was the fun part. I was just like chilling, listening to music, and doing what I loved. And because of it, I was charging 2.5x more just because of it. So keep that in mind, how important that is. And I'm talking about years ago, okay? Now it's really, really hot. Now everybody wants like a freaking colorist on projects. I get hit up by the most random companies, and I'm like, do you really like need a freaking colorist? Like, you might actually get away with just dropping a LUT on it because, it's like an ENG sort of stuff. But even they are looking to, spend and invest money in color grading because they know the power of it, okay? Now, I'm all about like learn as you go, because that's great. Like you go on YouTube, you type in the Cosman, and all the videos pop up and you watch it and you're like, Cosman, you're the best thing ever happened on planet Earth. Like, you're amazing, man. Like, your tutorials help so much. That is great. That is not stopping. That's going to keep going for eternity until I'm dead. But that said, having a roadmap is the difference, okay? Having a roadmap from start to finish is critical if you want to take your career seriously. And literally every single person, 44 plus thousands of you on Instagram, 7 plus thousand of you on YouTube. We got to step it up, YouTube. Come on, we got to catch up to Instagram. All of you guys have been asking for it, and I put in over a decade of experience, just literally made a freaking lemonade from it, and I created my masterclass that literally will do nothing but just that. I'm going to run you through it, what's going to happen and what it includes. And before I get into even that, one thing to know is that it's going to be closing in 6 hours right here. I'm going to flip this camera really quick so you can see it. It's ending in 6 hours. So if you want to grab your masterclass, I'm actually going to keep it flipped. You're going to have to do it now. So 6 hours left. Let me just take you through it really quick, what it includes. It includes everything. It's the freaking Bible. Like, everything that I know with my over 10 years of experience with color grading, professional experiences trickled into that. I'm going to take you through the first step. If this is your first time getting into color grading, how do you get your project from Final Cut 10, Avid Media Composer, or any other NLE out there, Premiere Pro? How do you get it into Resolve? What's the best way to get it into Resolve? What are the pros using to get it into Resolve? And then all the way through. how to work with different, color science. And so this is just an overview. I'm going to deep dive really quick and just show you what you're going to be getting in this masterclass. I mean, it's freaking loaded, okay? Loaded. I mean, think of it as like 3 semesters, like a whole year worth of content here if you really want to swim in this Kool-Aid. So I'm going to give you some crash courses and some things here that you're going to have as a handbook. So anytime, you just don't remember the smallest thing, you can go back and watch that 1 hour long video and it's just going to get you up to speed. Other than that, we're going to deep dive into each important page that you need to know in DaVinci Resolve, whether it's the media page, edit page, color page, delivery page. Then I'm going to take you through the best processes that are out there for conforming and you should be using, and then avoid everything else. Everything that you're going to see in this class is going to be just, I'm taking the fluff out. So this is all practical, real world examples, and even the projects and the course materials that you're going to be getting are approved by my clients and people that I work with, and those are real projects. Everything that you're going to be working on, whether they're music videos, short films, documentaries, it's everything that I worked on, and I'm giving you access to all that footage, and then you're going to work with me on that throughout this class. So there is none of that like, hey, you crank this little saturation and that's what that means. No, we're doing the real stuff. We're just showing you how this is done. My peeps on LinkedIn or on IG, link is in the bio, just an FYI if you want to see where that course is, and then you can learn a lot more about it too. But I'm just going to take you through it, brush through it real fast. So for the camera section module, I'm going to take you through the hottest cameras out there and how to work with their color science and how to tailor-made, each profile. What can we do to get the best result out of every camera out there? So you might own Red. That's really great. How to get the best possible image. Why is your footage looking different than David Fincher's, Curious Case of Benjamin Button that's shot on Red 1? So here I'm going to show you how to get there, take you from like making your videos look like everybody else's Red video to that level, okay? Then under color correction, that's the bread and butter, guys. Color correction, I'm going to move the IG camera over here so you guys can see a little bit more. Color correction is the bread and butter. This is 90% of your freaking paycheck, okay? I don't care what somebody says. Even when you're working on commercials, all they care about is their product looking exactly the same. If it's a lipstick and it's a red lipstick and a specific color red lipstick, it needs to look the same. So you're always going to hear that term, can we make it look good? Can we make it pop? That's the term that's just been rolling around everywhere. Unless you're working on like films, indie films, short films, music videos where you have a lot of leeway to like get fancy and have fun with it. So color correction, I'm going to deep dive. I'm going to go deep. I'm going to show you how to work with skin tones, how to get the best skin tones out of everything. We're going to work on landscapes and how to get the most juice out of that dynamic range. Products, like I said, how to stay true to those colors. And then even like if some stuff is shot in Rec 709, how to salvage and get the most out of that. And then in shot matching, as I was talking about earlier, shot matching is something that's just overlooked all the time, but this is exactly what separates the pros from the amateurs. This is the biggest difference. Okay, this movie right here that you guys are gonna get, it's a short film that I graded, shot with Alexa Mini, shot with quick lenses, and under the same lighting, but you go from this angle to that angle, and everything is changed. Okay, and even the same exposure and everything was on point, but it's totally different. I don't know what that is. It's the reflection on the wall. It's this and that and the other thing. The colors don't look the same. How do you match that? But not only that, we're not only going to take the footage from the same camera, we're going to take footage from different cameras, different color sciences. We will also take log footage with Rec 709 footage, and then how to blend it all together and make it work seamlessly. And I'm going to take you through multiple different projects, again, real world examples. And then the way I'm going to break it down and show you all the tools in Resolve to get your shot matching game to the next level will freaking blow your freaking mind. And then color grading, probably everybody's favorite topic, so is mine. But you don't get to color grading. So many people just jump to this step and skip everything else. You can't do that. The reason why I laid this whole thing down the way it is because you have to go through each and every step to get to color grading. And then once you've conquered everything else up until module 5, oh my God, then this is where the real fun begins. I'm going to show you ways to get pretty much any movie look that you want in the fastest way possible, in the most accurate way possible, without damaging your image. Your mind will be blown. And I know some of you might be thinking like, what the hell are you talking about? Don't think it, okay? In Hollywood, you might think that they spent 5 years on one shot. That's not how it goes. I mean, these guys are given weeks to color correct a movie, sometimes months. And they're grading those movies that just look the best out there. Mad Max, Fury Road. Just think of any movie, John Wick, and we are in love with those movies. They are graded in weeks or maybe months, but that's about it, okay, guys? So just be realistic about that. I'm going to show you and talk about exactly how long it takes to, grade a commercial, grade a freaking music video, grade a short film, grade a movie feature length. I'm going to also tell you what to ask for when you're working with a client, how many days do you need to do such things, and what kind of questions to ask to satisfy your clients and turn them into recurring clients. And the looks that we're going to be creating here are just mind-boggling, okay? I took best of the best. Like when it comes to commercials, I'm going to show you how to create Adidas looks, holiday season commercial look, Oakley, it's a really freaking poppy spot. Really cool. You guys are going to love it. Some of the hottest music video looks, and then Hollywood looks, Hobbs and Shaw, John Wick, La La Land, Sicario, Atomic Blonde. I mean, come on. These movies couldn't be far apart from each other, but the looks are freaking phenomenal, and you need to know these looks. This is what's hot right now, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make them. And then I'm also going to show you what's the proper way to use LUTs. There are different ways to use LUTs. I'm going to talk about the proper ways to use LUTs. And yes, not all LUTs are bad. So here you're going to learn how to do that. Then we're going to move on to the studio setup. And that is so freaking very important, because if you don't know what's on your screen and what it's going to look like when it's on the other side, game over. Then just pack your shop and do something else. So I'm going to show you how to build a freaking studio setup that is practical and makes you a freaking machine, and regardless of your budget. Look at this. Bare minimum, it doesn't matter. You got $1,000, you got less than $1,000, I can build you a freaking setup. You got $30,000, I can build you a freaking setup. And none of my setups are going to be for freaking show and tell. They're going to be practical, and they're going to get you the most results. Like, if you put in more money, my goal is to build you a setup that's going to reduce the time, make everything effective, which means you can take on more clients, more projects, which means your career can freaking blow the F up. Okay? So in studio setup, I'm going to take you through all of that. And then freelance module, just look at the freaking videos. They're going for days. They don't stop. Like, I poured every single thing that I know that I've done that worked for me. I took out all the stuff that didn't work for me, because then this would have been, 5 years long course, not 23 hours long. So I took out all that stuff, and I just left you with every single time I hit a home run and what happened there, and I documented it and talked about it here. Okay, whether you blowing up on social media and having that influence and just getting so much work that you have to start saying no, or how to build a freaking reel that has the highest success rate to land you high-end clients, or what are some of the high-end client strategies? How do you deal with it? How do you keep them? And how do you keep upping your rate with them? And then how to bring the most value. And then I answer some of the craziest FAQs that you guys have been asking for. I curated the best ones, and then I go in depth and answer all of those in here. I show you my invoices, how I build them, how I break them down, and that sauce right there alone could be worth thousands of dollars, because that, like I said, is the difference between you charging $500 or you charging $2,500. It is that simple. And I show you, break it down, and I go in there. I'm very transparent in this module, because this is probably the module that inspired me to do this course in the first place. And the thing is that this is exactly the difference between my course and any other course in the world, and especially when it comes to color grading. Guys, 23 hours worth of content. It was supposed to be 5 hours. It ended up being 23 hours, and I'm an editor, so when I cut, I freaking chop. There is no fluff, nothing, and you are getting 23 hours of meat. 157 training videos. It just does not stop, okay? And the thing that I want you to do is not rush. Take your time and really freaking explode. Course is available for 6 more hours, like I said. Link is in the description for YouTube. Link is, let me flip this over. Link is in the bio. Link is in the description for you guys. Go get yours as soon as you can. I mean, I work with many, freaking A-list companies. I'm just bringing in everything that I know. And that's it. That's it. There is no user guide happening here. For those, you can go to help and then click on user guide and resolve and read all the user guides you want. In my course, you're going to learn the freaking meat. And some of the questions that I want to take you guys through, because you guys have been asking for it, like one of the questions is that, hey, I don't know anything about color grading. Can I still take this course? Absolutely. Because of all the things that I just talked about. Knowing color grading will never hurt, and if anything, you can double, triple the rate that you're charging your clients, even if you're just a strictly cinematographer or, a general filmmaker making corporate videos and things like that. How is this course different than other DaVinci Resolve courses? Like I said, 99.9% of the courses out there right now are being taught by non-practitioners, okay? These guys are not doing it. They are teaching, and that's about it. And they're flexing with all the things that they know about Resolve. But when it comes to practical stuff, have you ever seen their freaking show reel, their demo reel? Have you ever seen the list of their clients and their work on the freaking website, what they have done? So that is the difference. Not to mention, everybody is showing you how to become a button pusher and what a saturation knob does. I'm showing you how to close a client and how to become profitable and how to provide for your family and just blow the F up in this industry. I'm turning you into a businessman / a freaking badass colorist and a filmmaker in general. Another question that I get all the time is like, hey, is this how can I watch this course? Well, you can watch it on anything. You can stream it on web, mobile devices, tablet, whatever you got. And for access, you will get lifetime access to this course. So once you buy it, you get a link where you will be able to download the course materials and then the lifetime access. Like you can watch it anytime, anywhere till the end of time. And everything will be available. And even the downloadable files that you guys are going to get are yours to keep, practice with, do whatever the hell you want with it. And then if you're unhappy, so another question is, if you're unhappy, what to do if you're unhappy, hit me up. You guys know, IG fam, you guys know I'm one DM away. YouTube, same thing goes for you. My email is in the channel description. Hit me up. You get your money back within 30 days. 30-day Cosman guarantee. You will get your money back. No questions asked. I want you to freaking succeed. I want you to freaking blow up. That's the whole point. Nothing else. And on that note, I love each and every one of you guys. 6 hours left. Go get your FCM. Hit me up so I can share it with people that we're changing the freaking culture together. And let's go out there and blow up. Let me just go through some of these questions. If you guys have any questions in here, answer it. There's so much going on IG. And this is crazy. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. Is there anyone on IG? Is there anyone who's taken my course that wants to jump online and just talk about it for 2 seconds with me? Send me a request right now. For Killer just said that, okay, go live with, he's taking the course. So I'm just going to try to bring him on. That didn't work out. If there is anyone taking the course, jump and come on live, talk about it for a second, let people know. I want to hear it. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. I will see you in the next video.